everybody. Thank you so much for being here. As I was saying before we started, I was there for the karaoke party last night. We were all there on hand. It was an amazing show. And I know this is kind of a big question to start with, but like hearing those songs, singing those songs at karaoke, how are those songs living in your head right now? What are they meaning to you at this point, having known them for so long and now they kind of belong to the entire world? Where are you with them?
Well, it's living rent-free in our heads.
Oh, they're stuck in your head too?
All day,
Yeah,
24/7. And just to perform it, live with Huntrix and me on behalf of the Saja Boys, it was just such a amazing experience. And for everyone to know the lyrics alongside with us was just really memorable, yeah.
I feel like they were bangers from the moment I heard them, and they're bangers now, honestly.
Yeah, we just, gave birth and then just tossed the baby to the world. And
Gently tossed or just like here?
Kobe. Sorry. But anyways, it's just amazing to see how people are resonating with the music and embracing it wholeheartedly.
I mean, Maggie and Chris, for you guys, are the songs stuck in your head as well, like they are for the whole world?
Oh yeah, I
They
just
have been
like
for years.
I just hum it. I'm just humming as I'm like cooking or like and it's just like, oh, what am I singing? Oh, it's Golden or like Soda Pop or yeah. It's just like naturally just in my head. So I just like it's just part of my life now.
Yeah. It's good to know that we're not alone, like the fans of the movie, and you guys are right there with us, and they're just all,
We're going on like some of these songs 3-4 years of listening to them, and I'm not sick of them yet, so they might last. Yeah.
Message to the world. You're not going to get sick of these songs anytime soon. Well, for you guys as filmmakers, you've experienced writing story, making films, and I think musicals are really a whole other hill to climb. And it's my understanding that you were developing the story for a while, but the music was really part of it for such a long time because the songs tell so much of the story. So to ask you guys, as the filmmakers, adjusting to storytelling with songs, and then how you bring these singers into part of that storytelling process, it feels like.
I think we were a little bit in denial of how much this was a musical because we've always presented it as a non-musical. Like our characters are pop stars, and so they just naturally sing. And so we knew that the music was going to be part of the story, but it was very much like, oh, if you just can't have 2 minutes of music without progressing the story and the plot and the characters. So once we really realized that, it was like, wow, okay, this is, whenever we discuss music, it's big story sessions. We're trying to figure out character and story, and so it was a very difficult process, but really, really helpful in us building the film out. And it was a challenge. None of us had worked on a musical before, so or Chris and I, and so it was really interesting.
Yeah, and I feel like slowly it occurred to us that the form of the pop song, of which there's so much variety in pop songs, from like how it's done, which is just like an introductory banger, like a declaration of who you are as a group, to something like Golden, which is in some ways exposition. It's like a story of who we are and what our dream is.
The girls' backstories.
Yeah, and their histories. And throughout the film, it became about like, what is the story asking of us? And then how can we frame that? What kind of pop song actually serves that content? And then trying to actually capture the musical magic and you need some poetry too, in terms of like lyrically getting those ideas in a way that's elegant and catchy and memorable. So that was really cool, and there was just no benchmark. We couldn't point at something else and be like, we'll do it like they did it. We're like, we've got to figure it out.
We'll just write some of the best songs in movie history. It'll be easy.
Yeah.
Well, you guys as musicians, obviously you're telling stories through your own music, but a movie is a totally different thing. You're being characters. You're working with the actors who are the voice actors. Like when you're handed songs like this and you're presented this chance to build the character, how is it different from your own musical careers?
I will say, personally, in my own artistry, I have the freedom to explore and experiment, but I found comfort in this role with Zoe because, one, I just personally relate to her so much. I see my entire being in her. And working with Ian, who was the executive music producer, he is such a beast in the studio. And because this is a story, this is a character, she is her entire being. She's not Rei Ami, so I think working with Ian again, delivering the lines, making sure you're hitting every note perfectly, you're embodying Zoe, evoking the correct emotions that the lines call for, because it's not me speaking it, it's Zoe. So I think there were many skills and tricks in the studio that I learned. I learned how to belt. I didn't know I could belt.
Wow.
Ian got me
You
to
can belt. I
belt.
was
He was
there.
like, the moment you started talking, I knew you were a belter. I was like, oh, okay.
Journey of self-discovery.
Oh, yeah. So I'm just so grateful for that experience, for Ian's coaching. I'm sure, Audrey, you can piggyback off of that.
Yeah, it was crazy because I was like, okay, it's K-pop. It's a genre that I really have never stepped into before. So I was like, okay, so I'm going to have to, activate a whole different side of myself for this. And I was so surprised with how much it actually taught me as an artist about what I can bring to my own recording process and my own process. I wasn't expecting that, like, insanely organic crossover. I feel like we're getting a masterclass right now of just storytelling and, the kind of the amount of thought that goes into it. But I think as a fellow artist, you really feel that level of intention, and it's really brings you back to your roots of kind of, oh, this is why I do this. And also to have to kind of be limited in a sense to just being a recording artist, and your only job is to deliver the lines that, like Ray, I also am super involved in a lot of the writing and production decisions and the mix, thought, all these things. And to just have to deliver the lines was like, that's another level of, I think, growing your skill set as a storyteller. But
Yeah. And for me, this movie is truly a art imitates life situation. I come from the world of K-pop. I was in a boy band called UKISS for over a decade, and now I'm just a K-pop star, but in demon form. I made a comeback as a demon, and it was truly an experience of a lifetime. I've toured around the world as a K-pop idol, but to reach new audiences with this film and for the whole world to resonate with K-pop is just a truly incredible experience. And I want to thank Maggie and Chris and the whole team for having us on board. We just did not expect this kind of response, but we're just taking it all in, one, stage, one press junket at a time. Yeah.
Do you feel like you have to defend the Saja Boys? Like you're out there defending the honor of the boy bands? It's a rough road for them in this movie.
It is. But
people love them. Yeah, people love them so much.
I mean, yesterday was a testament to how much love that the Huntrix and Saja Boys are receiving, because yesterday was the first night that we ever sang together in harmony.
Wow.
And I posted a video of us singing, and it went viral because the whole world is like, the Honmoon is confused. And I laughed so hard in my hotel room this morning. What? What is happening? Why are they?
That's amazing.
You guys aren't allowed to share this
This is
space.
not
You're supposed to
allowed,
be
no.
fighting.
Hilarious. I didn't see that. Oh my gosh.
Whoever left that comment, yeah.
When you say it went viral, it's been like 12 hours. Like, it doesn't take very long.
Yes, it's kind of immediately. I just love that the word Honmoon is so canon now. Like, it's like
It is so
K-pop
Korean.
music canon. It's so crazy. Like, I just think that's amazing. And that just goes to show like how much people have the audience has just embraced this movie and just really, like, I don't know, it's just now like in the world, and it's this baby that we just threw out, like Ami says. Right.
And the fact that our soundtrack has so much Korean lyrics in it, as Korean Americans, it's such a beautiful thing to witness for anyone who isn't Korean to sing with us in Korean. It's just another level of success for K-pop and another wave that you guys have created.
Well, I think it just speaks to like original IP in the sense that this idea works because these guys exist, and the timing has to work out. You tried to do this 20 years ago, and these guys aren't around, and so I think that when Maggie dreamed up this idea, it's a great original idea, but it also is like a kind of a magnet for all the people out there who have these skills and these points of view, and then suddenly it becomes a showcase of them, and I think that's really exciting to see, and you can see the audience respond to like how fresh it is, and that makes me really optimistic about the next round of original stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think the freshness of it is really hard to underestimate. Obviously, K-pop is so big. It is, the genre of music is kind of IP in itself, but it's this original story and it's this funny mashup of things. And honestly, I was thinking of like Gem and the Holograms as like a precursor for this. But for you guys, in the years of making this movie, like how many times did you have to say like, no, they're pop stars and they're demon hunters and here are all the reasons it'll be successful. Like it's such a famous uphill battle to make anything original in Hollywood. So how did you guys navigate out of those conversations? What was the way that you got everyone to understand the vision, or at least trust you that it would actually pan out?
We tricked them.
Yes. I think, the original story really didn't change all that much, like Rumi's journey and just the idea of inner demons and hiding parts of yourself. We felt like that was a very universal message, especially these days with like social media and like, we're putting a version of ourselves out there constantly, and I think a younger audience understands that, and an older audience does. So that was the thing that we were, constantly pushing for, and all the other cultural stuff. And I got asked this a lot, especially in Korea. Like, did you have did you feel the need to explain all the cultural references or specificity? And we didn't. We just. It's a movie about these characters and these themes that feel very universal, and everything else is you just accept it because you're so invested with the story, and that has been our approach the entire time. Yeah,
and I think our original pitch, it really sort of presented what we did, the final product. Like we talked a lot about these young women who were awesome but also super weird and goofy and like wore pajama pants like that, and we talked a lot about like, and it sounds very earnest before you've made the movie, but like a movie about the power of music and how that is a connective thing, and why is it that human beings feel the need to do this thing and make these noises and respond to it. And I think on a sort of pretty naive level, we said that's what we think this can be, and credit to the studios involved that they said, whoa, yeah, that if you could pull that off, that would be great.
And then you've spent years being
yeah,
like,
and
no,
then
we can pull
5
it off.
years later.
I swear we can get there.
and then we're like, oh, we did it.
I mean, we were talking before we started recording about the different versions of these songs, the different lyrics that it goes through, and animation is such a process of adjusting. And I don't know how much you guys, witness it as the singers, but what was the evolution of all these things? How did you watch these songs or the story grow over the course of being involved in it? And, are there other versions of it that we might hear someday, or that you want to tell us about how it all could have been?
It was such a cool process to be able to kind of see the progression of, because we have monitors where we can kind of see with the songs what's going on in the story. And I think that just added a whole nother level in terms of understanding, I think, the context. And I just have a huge, honestly, in general, respect for animation. And I think the level of detail that just went into both the music and the animation, and kind of being able to be a part of that, or at least witness the process of that growth, I think allowed us to really go all out as well, because I think at least in a lot of music today, I think there's a lot of nonchalance and there's a lot of like aesthetic based things, and there's a lot of being too cool for school, and I think that is a really necessary reaction to a lot of the music things that have happened in the past. But I think what was so inspiring for the whole, seeing the animation process, seeing the hard work that goes into it, was just like, wow, they're just like balling out, like they're just going for it, and there's nothing wrong with kind of doing that on the vocal side too, and just like kind of struggling for it a bit too. That was at least my perspective, but you guys had anything?
So the only scenes I got to see personally were like obviously the singing scenes, and like for example the first recording sessions, the monitor would show like not even full animation. It's just like what are they called, like storyboards. So we're seeing it. Unfortunately, I recorded after Audrey and EJ got to record, so I got to hear all their parts in full, and it was really nice to. One, because we recorded solo, so I didn't get to interact with EJ or Audrey, but hearing their voices and hearing our harmonies and how our voices blend together, on top of seeing this animation develop over each recording session, and you're seeing like again like Zoe and Mira just like come to life with each frame with the song. It was just again out of this world. And like again, huge animation fan, so I learned a lot about the process and just how much detail goes into every single frame. So thank you.
I mean, they said everything that I wanted to say. But to add on to that, I was just so shocked how fast the process was, because we recorded it last year. And I thought, this is my first, animation film that I took part of, and I didn't realize. I mean, it took way longer than a year.
Lucky you.
Where were you in 2019 when they were really doing the work?
But no, just very, very, blessed to see this come to life so quickly. I was very surprised to hear that, the movie was going to launch, just a year after recording. And when I was in the studio with Ian Eisendrath, I also only just saw the storyboard as well. So we really just had to hone in on the voices and how the delivery of the song. And for me to see the contrast, because I did not see any of the other scenes. I didn't know where this scene will be placed in the movie.
You didn't know they were the bad guys? So the
Well,
Saja Boys?
I knew we were demons.
What?
But Soda Pop was just so sweet and pure and bubbly.
Who wouldn't like them?
Yeah. And my job was to just, deliver it to the goal of the song, which is to attract steal the fans' souls.
Yeah.
But in the movie, I was like, wow, this is evil. I didn't realize how, but
Power of film.
The power of film, yeah.
I have to ask about the animation part of it, because it's hard not to feel like I'm sitting with Zoe and Mira here looking at you guys. Like, there's a strong resemblance. Like, how much of that becomes part of the animation process is like looking at these guys? Or for you guys, how much is it characters based on you?
I mean, I had the buns 5 years ago, but they just migrated down. So I like to, I think I'm more grounded now. Still crazy, chaotic. Don't get it twisted. But, she's cool, calm, collected. So, Mira.
Yeah, totally.
I think the casting for this movie was just immaculate, honestly. Like it's not even funny. I think even on the voice acting side, when I met Mei Hong, who voices the acting for Mira, it was like the Spider-Man meme, we're like,
Pointing at each other.
is it me? Is it you? Are we? Is I? Like it
You
was.
are Mira, the two
yeah,
of you
no,
together.
We're at a
truly.
screening, and I think Audrey, you tapped me on the shoulder, and I turned around, and I was like, oh my gosh, it was like Audrey and May, and I was like, I don't know, it just blew my mind.
totally.
But you guys were both smiling at me, and I was like, this is
Like they split into two people.
One embryo,
yeah.
two people.
But they're equally Mira, and you bring them together, and it creates this one character. And we felt that way when we met all of our cast. When we were like, oh my gosh, you're Rumi, you're Zoe, you're Mira, and we were just so fortunate that happened. And it just, I don't know, I think everybody, all the artists knew who the characters were and really brought that character to life, in both ways, in the singing and the acting. So it just, I don't know, it was
Such
magic.
an honor.
Yeah.
It's such an honor because the characters are so, they're so real and they're so, I don't know, it's an honor to be able to contribute to a character like who you really do relate to. And obviously given the success of the movie, it's like, I just feel so grateful that it's a character that I really admire and respect and think is the coolest and honestly wish I had growing up to look up to too, and I'm happy for the kids who have that now.
Yeah, I like the way that you've talked, Maggie, about how you wanted them to be like, heroes, but also like do weird things and love their couch and like have weird jokes and burp and stuff like that. And like, I don't know how hard that is to maintain through it, because you make a movie for so long and everyone wants them to be like immaculate heroines, but you guys stuck to your guns on that part of it and it paid off.
Yes, that was that was one of the tentpoles of the pitch, the initial pitch of the movie. And so there was huge support for that from the beginning. And it was really important for me to see create women who were silly and stupid at times, because I really think there's power in comedy, especially for women. Like it takes a lot of courage to be stupid and then also be accepted for that. And I really wanted to preserve that dynamic and create it. And that's a really important message for young girls, especially.
Yeah. I think there's something in how it's done when they're coming out of the plane and it's like the fit check for the napalm era. It's like so silly and like yeah, you can't check your mascara when you're like.
But you can be everything, and that's like girly. But like, yes, they love fashion, but they also love the other stuff too. Like, why can't we have it all?
They also love killing demons. Why not?
And food. The
with
love
the
of food was so like I felt
Yes.
so seen by that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, the food I think of the most, and like the popcorn eyes getting then eaten, which is so gross. It's really gross to think of popcorn coming out of your friend's eyes and you then eating it, but it really works. Does anyone want to take credit for that idea? Who came up with that part?
I mean, it was a group effort.
Okay.
It happened in an art meeting where one of our director Scott Watanabe drew a chibi of Rumi, and she had heart eyes and then ab eyes because we already knew that scene was going to be in the movie. And then somebody, I think it was Jeannie, said, another artist said, "Oh, that looks like corn," and I was like, well, what if it was corn? and then she just gets so hot that and then butter comes in and it just like it snowballed in the room. And I remember, I think there was a little like, but like, what's wrong with you? And then I went home and pitched this to my husband, who's also a director, and he's like, that's not gonna work. Like that's stupid. And I'm like, oh, I'll show you. And then we did it, and it was so funny. And it was it was one of the original jokes in the movie, and it kind of set the bar for how stupid we can go, and we will go. So it was great.
I loved how many meetings we had over the course of 3 years where it was like, so next up, a room full of 40 people will review the ab eyes, and then we'll review the shot of the butter slapping on them, and it was just, we'd give notes for an hour and a half, and it was like, what is
and
our
like
job?
the right speck on the abs, and it's not looking like abs anymore. It's because of specs. Yeah, it was fun. Yeah.
No, but like back to the topic of food though, like it's hard not to like get emotional because, and it's just food, but for us it means more than that because seeing Korean food being represented on a big screen like this, it's like something like for us when we were growing up, it was a factor we had to hide at school.
Yes.
Bringing kimbap, like the rice rolls,
It
the
smells,
smell,
yeah.
kimchi,
What
and
are
ramen.
you eating? What is that black thing around the rice?
Yeah, and for now it to have this world recognition, and now I could bring my cup noodle wherever I go and be proud of it, is such a such a beautiful.
And it's just a huge part of our culture. Is like even when your mom is mad at you, she'll come and bring you fruit. She's like, eat it, and that's her, peace offering.
yeah.
Well, as we get to where we have to wrap this up, I have a question that everyone has, but this one came from girls who are named Charlie and Sammy who wanted to know, will there be another one, and will the Saja Boys be in it? They really want to know about the Saja Boys. So
I want to know this.
I know. All right, guys.
Please
Give
tell
us
us.
the answer right here.
Oh gosh, yes, it's the question of the moment, of course. There's no official word, but we do think that there's a lot to be explored and expanded in this world. We love the characters, and obviously the world loves these characters, and they love the Saja Boys, and
I hope they do.
Demons they never stay dead for long in the world.
But with any of these like fantasy rules. And somebody told me that they can be reversed, they can be, undone. Anything that's closed can be open, and so you just never know,
I do think in a world where eyes can turn into popcorn, that
exactly
that demons
too.
can be brought back.
I mean, how many how solid are these rules really? We haven't.
Well, congratulations to you all. Congratulations on like a big screen success and a small screen success. It's absolutely everywhere, and thank you guys so much for being here.
Happy fans, happy
Honmoon.
You guys are so good.